Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now for a moment of silence.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Today is Friday, November 3rd, and welcome back to HHS In Depth. Let's start with a quick rundown of today's show. First up will be reporter Rowan Walsh with a story on how the new classrooms that have opened up are affecting student routes during passing periods. Next is Ruthie Hudson with a preview on the yearly Taste of Homestead event that is happening in a couple months. Later, Mara Nicholson will inform you about the approaching 3K hosted by DECA to raise money for their upcoming trip. And Elena Baker will recap Monday's school parade. We'll also have another edition of Behind the Curtain with Taylor Ham, Matthias Arizmendi's weather report, and an all-new Down to the Wire hosted by Caroline Burns. All this and more today, only on HHS In Depth. Hello Spartans, and welcome to HHS In Depth. I'm Graham DeWitt.
And I'm Luke Ryan. And Graham, I'm glad we got to sleep in on that flex day 2 days ago.
I am as well, but I'm also happy that we got to skip out on 40-degree weather.
Speaking of that, I want to get outside tomorrow, but I don't know what the weather's going to be like.
Well, Luke, let's head over to weather reporter Matthias Arizmendi to look into what it will be like outside during the week and after school today.
Well, guys, after school and next week, it seems to warm up despite approaching the winter months. I'll be back later in the show for the 7-day forecast. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you for filling us in, Matthias.
Now I know I may just want to stay inside tonight.
Same here, but maybe a short walk will do. Matthias will be back later with a report on the upcoming week.
HHS In Depth, National News.
Switching to national news, the United States House of Representatives has finally elected a new speaker 3 weeks after the unprecedented removal of Kevin McCarthy. Several candidates emerged and dropped out, but Republican Mike Johnson of Louisiana was ultimately elected by the House last Thursday. He starts his tenure as the most inexperienced speaker in the last 140 years, having only begun his time in Congress in 2017. In other news, we mourn the loss of actor Matthew Perry. He passed away at his residence last Saturday at the age of 54. Perry starred in several movies and TV shows, most notably in his role as Chandler Bing in the sitcom Friends. Tributes from around the world celebrated the joy he brought to those who watched his performances and his comedic genius.
Thank you, Luke, for the national news update. With rooms opening up in the new academic wing, students may be facing longer commutes to their classes. Reporter Rowan Walsh joins us now to tell us more.
I am currently stood in front of one of the new classrooms here at Homestead, and from their modern aesthetic to new technology, they're a huge win for both students and teachers. But their location has caused some problems for students. Looking at the school from above, the problem is obvious. It's just too far to walk in 6 minutes. On top of that, aren't passing periods supposed to be used to go to the bathroom or refill your water bottle? These new rooms have left some students feeling stranded in the hallways after the grim toll of the final bell.
My second period class is down in the end of the freshman academy, and then my third period class is down in this corner, so I can't make it to my class on time.
So what are these students supposed to do? Mr. Spurs gives these students advice and hope.
Most of the classes will be moved into the new wing before this semester's up. We don't want to get into, hey, we're going to let classes out early. So we really want the student to have a conversation with the class that they're going to be late to. And then they can kind of, hey, okay, I'll work with you here. We're hoping the teachers are going to give them a little grace and help work the problem.
So until the new academic wing is finished, make sure to coordinate with your teachers, plan your bathroom breaks accordingly, and avoid busy main hallways. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Rowan Walsh.
Thanks for the story, Rowan. Stick around, Spartans. We'll be right back on HHS In Depth.
Are you interested in trying different foods from all over the world? I'll be back later on in the show to introduce you to Taste of Homestead.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Poetry Out Loud will have its call-out meeting after school on Wednesday, November 8th. The meeting will be in Mr. Beer's room, room 117, from 2:40 to 3 p.m. Poetry Out Loud is a national poetry recitation competition. Students memorize and perform 2 poems from an online anthology. The Homestead School winner then moves on to the state finals for Indiana with a chance to go to the Nationals in Washington, D.C. Email Mr. Beer at the email address shown here with any questions.
The Computer Tech Help Room has moved from room 301 to its new location at room 608. Please go to the new room for your computer tech help.
HHS DECA students, please see the QR codes in the hallway or visit homesteaddeca.com to register for your event this year. Stop by and see Mr. Dunn or Mr. McNeil with any questions.
Are you interested in learning more about athletic training? Our athletic trainers are looking for more student athletic trainers for winter and spring sports. Applications can be picked up in the athletic office. Deadline for applications is November 17th.
The annual Key Club Family Feud night will take place on November 16th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. In order to participate, you must have a group of 3 to 5 people, and the admission fee is $7 per person. The winners of the game will receive $50. The forms and payments are due November 14th and should be turned in to Mr. Beer.
Graham, it was great to celebrate a couple of recent state championships at Homestead earlier this week.
Without a doubt, Luke. It's always fun to congratulate our state champions. Joining us now is reporter Elena Baker. And Elena, the championship parades have really become a tradition here at Homestead.
It'll be great to add another banner to the state wall in the Spartan Arena. This past Monday, the Homestead Drumline and cheerleaders escorted 2 different sports teams that went to state and conquered the competition while there. In celebratory tradition, our students lined the halls to congratulate these accomplishments. The girls' cross-country team won state for the first time in Homestead history. The other team we lined up to congratulate was the boys' tennis team, specifically Eric G. and Alex Graber, who won state competing in doubles. Graham, it has been an unbelievable past couple of weeks for our Homestead athletes.
It certainly has been. Thank you for the report, Elena. Every year, Homestead hosts an event called Taste of Homestead. But what is it all about and how can you get involved?
Reporter Ruthie Hudson joins us now with more information on this tradition.
Taste of Homestead is an event for our community to come in and try different foods from all over the world. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without our students to help prepare the food. Students start by forming a group of friends and selecting a country they are interested in learning more about. After researching their country, they pick a dish to create. Preparing the dish includes researching ingredients and recipes along with the actual cooking. The students will then share their food and knowledge with the community on the night of Taste of Homestead.
It's a really cool event to learn more about all of the countries of the world by sampling the food from those countries, and everything is prepared by our students who take part in Taste of Homestead. We have about an hour and a half to share with our school community all the great food from all these countries around the world. So I think everybody gets a lot out of the event because they get a chance to learn about that country and the food that you eat in that country, which is always something really interesting to see. This is something that's open to everybody at Homestead. We would love to have you participate this year. We'd love to have you form a group with some of your friends.
If you are interested in joining, they will hold their first call-out meeting on November 9th in room 607 after school. If you have any questions, email Senior Peeper at the email shown below. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Ruthie Hudson.
Thanks for the story, Ruthie.
Our school boasts a thriving DECA club with a track record of making it to state level. But as the saying goes, success comes at a cost.
Reporter Mara Nicholson is in now to tell us how some of the students are raising money to attend.
While most only see blazers and briefcases, in reality, being a member of DECA entails so much more, like raising funds to attend conferences.
This year, our DECA event is project management, and as part of that, we are raising money for our DECA chapter, also Homestead DECA.
Okay, all of the money for the 3K that we raise is going to go to lowering the price of dues for Homestead DECA and making it more accessible for everybody who wants to be a part of it.
The registration fee is $20. That's going to include a t-shirt, and then all of the money is going to go straight into the DECA organization, helping students get involved, lowering competition fees, and just helping the program as a whole.
The race is just under 2 miles. The 3K is roughly 1.8 miles. 3K is a fun run. You can walk, you can run.
Our race is going to be run by whoever wants to run it. So family, friends, high schoolers, it'll be mostly people in the district, but it's open to anybody. So invite your friends, invite your family, come out. It should be a good time. Bring your friends. It'll be a blast.
If you would like to attend the race on November 11th at 11 a.m., make sure to scan the QR code to fill out the registration. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Mara Nicholson.
All right, thank you for the report, Mara.
As we head to break, be sure to keep an eye out for your favorite club meeting at Homestead over the next week.
Stay tuned, we'll be back after this.
Our fall sports season has officially wrapped up with our girls cross country team taking a phenomenal first place finish last week at state. I'll recap their win and the football team's season finale sectional game a little later in Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
Luke, it really has started to feel like fall after a full week of 40-degree cloudy weather.
It sure has, but I hope we see one more warm-up before this becomes the norm. Weather reporter Matthias Arizmendi is in the studio now and ready to fill us in on what we can expect for the next week.
Thanks, Graham and Luke. After school today, we're looking at a decent 55 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. When the sun sets, though, things will quickly cool off down into the 40s. So if we plan on going anywhere tonight, make sure to bring a coat. Heading into the weekend, it's going to warm up a bit with Saturday and Sunday both being great days to get outside. Saturdays will be partly cloudy and a high of 59, while Sunday will bring in a few more clouds. However, we should hit 60 degrees. As for next week, unfortunately, after another day in the 60s on Monday, the rest of the school week is going to cool down once again. Keep an eye on the skies as Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday could all bring in some rain showers. It's not quite winter yet, but we are sure seeing signs of the seasons changing. Enjoy these pleasant weekends while you can, because soon no one will want to be outside. Graham, Luke, back to you.
Thanks for the weather report, Matthias. It's a shame that we're going to have to start dealing with these colder days on a more consistent basis.
That may be true, but thankfully our band was shielded from these conditions while at state competition last Saturday.
On that note, Taylor Ham joins us now to bring you another edition of Behind the Curtain.
Welcome back to Behind the Curtain. I'm Taylor Ham. To start off, over the weekend, the Homestead Spartan Alliance Band traveled to the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for their 36th consecutive year in a row of going to state. They performed to the fullest and ended up placing 5th out of 10 teams in total. Congratulations to the Spartan Alliance Band and good luck at Nationals in the coming weeks. Additionally, the Homestead Choral Department put on their annual fall concert this Monday. Some of the song selections from the concert choir and 2 show choirs included Cantate, Yesterday, Hosanna and Eggshell Seas, Blackbird, Oh Lord, Please Hear My Prayer, as well as O Sifuni Mungu, which featured a special percussionist, Patrick McCarthy, on the bongo drums. The soloists for the evening included Nathan Weisner, Ashley Perbilski, Rafael Souza, and Mia Galvin. Well done, everyone. In other news, for the past 2 weeks, the Fall Cabaret performers have been hard at work preparing for their show. And finally, the performances have come. Yesterday, they had the first show and it was phenomenal. If you'd like to see it, make sure to catch the 2 final opportunities to see this show, this evening and tomorrow at 7 p.m. The tickets are $10. Thanks for tuning in to Behind the Curtain. If you have any scores, performances, auditions, or anything else pertaining to the performing arts that you'd like to see on the show, send us an email at the address shown below. For Behind the Curtain, I'm Taylor Ham. Graham, Luke, back to you.
Thank you, Taylor, for the update on our performing arts. Well, the band wasn't the only team that competed in the state last weekend, as we saw a historic performance from our girls' cross-country team on Saturday.
We now send it to Caroline Burns, who will recap some incredible athletic performances from last week on Down to the Wire.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Caroline Burns. Over the weekend, our girls cross country team closed out the fall sports season with their first IHSAA state win in school history. Last Saturday in Carmel, our girls took the podium with a final score of 108 points. Addison Canablo also had an individual podium finish, placing 4th in the state.
This was just a combination of all the athletes that came before us, all the athletes on the team now, and everyone who will come after us. It's amazing to finish my senior year with such a big win. The whole season we really felt like we were on the precipice of really big things, and just finishing strong and having the motivation as a group to just get it done. I mean, it's a great way to end my senior year.
Congrats to our girls for a fantastic record-breaking season. The football team also wrapped up their season last week with a loss at their sectional game against Fishers. Our football team had a tough game against Fishers, and the Spartan season came to an end on Friday. The final score was Homestead 14, Fishers 42. Quarterback Michael White threw 274 passing yards for 2 touchdowns. Nathan Bardwell had 4 receptions for 61 yards and 1 touchdown. And Liam Moore had 4 receptions for 124 yards and 1 touchdown. Congratulations on a great season and best of luck next year. That'll do it for this week's edition of Down to the Wire. I'm Caroline Burns. Thanks for watching. Back to you, Graham and Luke.
Thank you, Caroline, for the sports update. This has been HHS In Depth.
And make sure to check our socials for updates on the HHSID team and our upcoming projects.
Have a splendid weekend, Homestead, and we'll see you back here again next week.